Jerusalem's prophecies. The city will be trampled underfoot by the Gentiles. And sure enough, it has been. The Romans and Byzantines had it until 638 AD. Then the Muslims had it. Then the Crusaders got it. Then the Turks got it. Then Israel got born again in 1948, but they're still not following God's word. Under Jewish control, capitals once again under Jewish control. Okay. The Lord said, I'll make Jerusalem a cup of trembling unto all people. Probably everybody in the world's heard about Jerusalem. More people have heard about that city than any other city. Little city in a little bitty country, and it's famous. Muslims believe that any land conquered for Allah must remain under Islamic control. Ask the Muslims, what do you want over there? Oh, from the river to the sea. What does that mean? Jordan River to the Mediterranean Sea. They want all of it. They're not going to be happy until Israel, all of Israel, is annihilated and back to Islam. Nothing else will make them happy. PLO Charter. The liberation of Palestine is a national duty. The aims at the elimination of Zionism. Absolute responsibility for this falls upon Arab people and governments. Hamas Manifesto. The land of Palestine is an Islamic religious endowment consecrated for future Muslim generations until Judgment Day. It or any part of it should not be given up. So this is what the Jews have to deal with over there. The Muslims are not going to be happy till they wipe them out. Jehovah, the eternal triune God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, has a son, is revealed through the Bible, loves the Jews with an everlasting covenant. Allah, the moon god, one of many pagan gods selected by Muhammad, has no son, revealed through the Quran, hates the Jews and calls for their destruction. These are not the same. They're not worshiping the same God. Islam's greatest is Israel's greatest adversary. They're formed out of an Arab paganism. The roots are traced back to Ishmael and Esau. Allah was the greatest of its 360 gods. They had 360 gods, one for every day. They picked one of them and made him the big one they worship. Muhammad, the last prophet, abolished the other 359 gods. Muhammad couldn't read, okay? And he said, all the rest of them are no good. We're picking this one, Allah. Muhammad and the Quran galvanized the Arabs into a conquering force in the 7th century. The Quran is said to be God's final, perfect, uncorrupted message to humanity. Islam is a religious, socio-political system with a mission to change the world into an Islamic society governed by the laws of Allah. 1.4 billion Muslims have a mandate to make Islam supreme. That's what they're taught from the time they're born. Iran, Persia, has a grand design to unite the Islamic world, and Russia has signed a treaty to back him. Which, when a country is conquered by the Muslims, you have three options. Convert to Islam, pay a tax to obtain protection. In other words, you're now a slave. You work for them. Or die by the sword if you refuse. That's your three choices. So if they conquer a country, that's their choices, okay? Does the Quran promote a peaceful religion? Make war on the unbelievers and hypocrites and deal rigorously with them, it says in Surah chapter 9. Make war on them until idolatry shall cease and God's religion reign supreme. Slay the idolaters wherever you find them. Take them captive and besiege them and lie in wait for them in every ambush. Fight against those who do not embrace the true faith. Of course, they think that's theirs. Until they pay tribute out of hand and are utterly subdued. Here's a few of Islamic assaults on the infidels. Let's see, 1972 when they massacred the Israeli Olympics team. 1979, they took an embassy in Tehran was taken over and 52 hostages were held for a year. 1983, the Marine barracks in Beirut was blown up, killing 241 soldiers. 1988, Pan Am flight was bombed, killing 270 people. 1993, the first bombing of the World Trade Center. 1988, embassies bombed in Kenya and Tanzania, 200 dead and 4,000 injured. 2001, World Trade Center reduced to rubble, 3,000 people dead. We can go on and on. They're doing it again. They're still doing it. Nothing's changed. Allah told Muhammad that all those who opposed his message should be killed, or they should be nailed to a tree, or their hands and legs should be cut off. Imagine teaching that to a kid from the time they're little. When they get big enough to join the military and be a soldier, they're going to think they're doing a duty to Allah. When you meet and fight against those who disbelieve, smite at their necks till you have killed and wounded many of them. So jihad is offensive against any who will not convert. It's not defensive, as they would have you believe. The last hour will not come before the Muslims fight the Jews and the Muslims kill them. The purest joy for Islam is to kill and be killed for Allah. Afghan clerics demand convert be killed. This was back in the news, 20 years ago. Senior Muslim clerics demanded Thursday that an Afghan man on trial for converting from Islam to Christianity be executed. What's his crime? He converted to Christianity, warning that if the government caves into Western pressure and frees him, they will incite people to pull him into pieces. In an unusual move, Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice telephoned President Hamid Karzai on Thursday seeking a favorable solution to the case of Abdul Rahman. This has been their modus operandi for a long time, folks, and nothing has changed, okay? 41-year-old former medical aid worker faces the death penalty under Afghanistan's Islamic laws for becoming a Christian. He converted. Rejecting Islam is insulting God. We will not allow God to be humiliated. This man must die. Afghan clerics demand the convert be killed. President Bush said he's deeply troubled by the case and expects the country to honor the universal principle of freedom. It's in the news for all the time. It's not going to end. They don't understand.